welcome back. I am Zoe Flowers. Let's get into this weekly reading. It is Monday. It is April 27th. Okay, let's see what's going on. So we're going to start with the crystal for the week. Then we'll tap in with the moon. We'll tap in with the tarot. And then we'll tap in with the magic spells oracle. So what crystal can be our ally this week? What crystal can be our ally this week? Oh, one of my favorites. Okay. So we have selenite. So it's interesting because in this deck, selenite talks about clearing the clutter. But one of the things, and I have selenite all around the house, it's a very high vibrational crystal. It is one of the few crystals that you don't have to charge. You don't have to put it out in the moon to charge it. You don't have to put it in the sun to charge it. Of course, if you want to, you can, but it's a very high vibration crystal. And also you can use selenite to cleanse other crystals. So I keep it in my windows just to have a protective shield around. I have some in the trunk of my car. I have some in my car, hanging from my rear view mirror. Yeah, so selenite is that girl. Let's see what this says. Clear the clutter. It's time for a refresh. When you feel your battery is running low or your light is starting to dim, all it takes is a quiet moment to hit the refresh button. Yeah, and that's true because the selenite also comes in wands. So you can also cleanse your energy. You can cleanse your auric field by doing what I'm doing with selenite to clear the energetic clutter. All it takes is a quiet moment to hit the refresh button and turn your inner light up to its brightest potential. Use this reset as an opportunity to cleanse yourself from anything that's dimming your energy. This might mean spending a few minutes outside to feel the sun on your face, or sitting in silence and meditating for a few cycles of breath. Do what's needed to re-energize your spirit, feed your soul, and recharge your inner light. Core questions. Is your spirit feeling its brightest? What energies do you need to clear it away? Crystal action affirmation. I feel myself back up with light. Today, visualize a column of white light radiating from your heart to the rest of your body. That's a good one. I do like this question. Is your spirit feeling its brightest? What energies do you need to clear it away? I think that should be maybe that's why they wanted me to start with this, so that we have this core question. I think that should be the core question of the reading. How do we keep our spirit bright, and what energies do we need to clear away? I love that. Let me just double check that that's the right question to ask. Are these the right? Of course these should guide the reading with this Knight of Swords, an affirmative yes, holy crap, and a sun. Okay, perfect. So, okay, keep the tarot. Okay, I will keep the tarot. So the first question for the tarot is, what energies do you need to clear away? What energies need to be cleared away this week? And we already know that selenite is the remedy. Okay? We already know selenite is the remedy. Selenite is going to be the prescription. It's going to be the antidote to help us clear our energy. If you feel pushed to go buy some selenite, it's such an easy crystal to find. Very, very easy. So, what needs to be cleared away? So it's interesting that we got this Eight of Pentacles in reverse. The Eight of Pentacles in the upright has to do with really tapping into your talent. It's about sort of mastering your talent, honing your talent. Hard, quote unquote, it is a card of hard work. It is Earth, and we are in Taurus season. And so Pentacles are Earth. Taurus is Earth. It's an Earth sign. And this being in reverse is like, this is not a week of efforting. This is not a week of brute force pushing things forward, okay? When it comes to what energies do you need to clear away? Especially at the end of the week, we have the full moon in Scorpio, and we know full moons are all about releases. And so if there are any sort of ideas about work and effort, like the only way you can attain things is through like hard work all the time, that needs to be cleared away. And how do I know that? Because we have the Magician card next. Earth is just Earth, the Earth energy, the energy of Earth signs is just one way that we manifest, right? The tarot deck can be looked at as tools for manifestation. What do I mean by that? Typically, before something materializes in present time, and sadly, people have like made the language of manifestation so janky. That's like one of the great crimes. But we all manifest, right? Like, whether we manifest consciously or unconsciously, that is the issue. But we're always manifesting because we're always thinking and we're always creating, right? So when you are looking at manifestation, typically you start with the thought first, right? The idea first. That's the swords, right? And so in a lot of decks, if you look at the way a lot of tarot decks are developed, you get the swords first, right? Because everything starts in the imagination. This phone, this card, somebody had to think of this card, these glasses, somebody had to have an idea like, oh, how can I see better, right? Everything starts with the thought. Then you have the thought, then you go to, from the thought, you go to the emotions, you go to the cups, right? Because you have to put emotion, passion behind that idea, right? In order to, right? Like Steve Jobs didn't just like think of this thing and not do anything with it, right? He had the imagination, he had the download, whatever, and then he put some emotion behind it. He put passion behind it, right? Drive, excitement, boom, right? The cups. Then you have the actions, right? Actions comes next. Again, in many tarot decks. Why? Because you have the thought, you put the emotion behind it, then you take action. You find partners, you find people that believe in what you believe in, and then you come together and you create this fucking thing that like rules so many of our lives, right? Not mine. But really, right? So that's manifestation, okay? And then what is the manifestation? The manifestation is Earth. It is the physical manifestation of that thing that Steve Jobs dreamt about. That is how manifestation works. So, it's not hard work alone. I'll say all of that to say it's not hard work alone that's going to get us there. In fact, this hard work, this overproductivity, which we know is a result of capitalist societies, is what's draining our spirit. What energy do you need to clear away? Lord, free me from the spirit of overproductivity. Not saying we're not going to do anything, but we're going to use everything in our means to get what we desire. The thing about the magician is the magician understands and utilizes everything they have. There are the swords. There are the ideas. Right next to the ideas, there are the pentacles. In their hand is the wand. And then here's the cup right here, right? And there's also another wand right here, right? So this is like their table. So we've got the thoughts, we've got the emotions, we've got the action, and then we have the physical manifestation of that thing on earth in the pentacles, right? And that's for me, that's what all these flowers and everything, all of that fertility, all of that fecundity comes from the work that you put in. So what we're being asked to do, again, is free ourselves from the idea that hard work alone is going to get us what we want. Oh my God. Because why? Because it's creating clutter. Again, not just physical clutter, the apartment being messy, the home being messy, right? This is also a message to clean your clutter, clean the house, because the inside reflects the outside. The outside reflects the inside, I mean. So clear the clutter, right? But again, all of this overproductivity clutters the mind, clutters the spirit, weighs us down, so we don't feel like we have the energy to do anything, right? So let's tap into the other things at our disposal. This also feels like, yeah. Before I say it, am I going in the right direction? Am I going in the right direction? No, nothing fell. Am I going in the... Ace of Wands. Yes, big fat yes. And I love that it is an affirmative wand action, because the other piece of this is that it's also saying, one, this overproductivity thing, but this is also saying that this week to not be so overly concerned with the pentacles. And I'm not talking about like the money. I'm talking about pentacles is about creating something that lasts. It is a material thing. And it's Taurus season. So my gosh, how hard to do that in the middle of Taurus season, because that's all Taurus wants to do is feel secure and like accumulate things and this and that to make them feel secure. But what they're saying is this week, that's not the answer. This week, tap into your cups. Tap into how you're feeling, especially moving up to this full moon in Scorpio. Folks might already be having big feelings, which could be another reason why we got that selenite to clear the clutter, right? Looking at, again, our actions, the wands this week. Paying attention to that part. And then paying attention to the swords, paying attention to our thoughts this week. So not just focusing on the material, but focusing on those other key parts. And you know what? This card could also mean for other people. So we have 3 different things here. One set of folks needs to be freed from the demon of overproductivity. The other set of people needs to stop focusing on the end result and focus on their ideas, their emotions, and their actions, and seeing if they are congruent. Where are those balloons coming from? That was freaky deaky. And then the third group of people is this 8 of Pentacles is in reverse, because these other things, those other 3 key components of manifestation are lacking, right? So the projects aren't coming through, the job opportunities aren't coming through, etc., etc. So clear the clutter, clear things out. All right. Some of you could be overthinking a lot this week. Like a lot. And it's creating spiritual and energetic clutter. Okay? Is your spirit feeling its brightest? Okay, well, we already got that. We got the crystal to be the ally. We got the action items from the tarot. Okay, now they want to talk about outcome. What is the outcome of doing all this work? All right, doing what they said. What is the outcome? Oh my God, I love it. J'adore. Oh my God, you're not going to believe this. Y'all are not going to believe this. Or maybe you will. Oh my gosh. You see that? Prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. I know you lying. Incroyable. So what I really feel like is, and remember, our Taurus season reading that I did last week was about abundance and things changing really quickly. So go back and look at that if you haven't seen it. But here's the thing. This week they're saying tap into those other, again, whatever one of those three scenarios that I laid out. Which one is you? Act accordingly, right? Wand yourself down with some selenite if you have it. Prosperity lies ahead. We have a new moon in Taurus in 3 weeks? April 27th. That was last year. May 16th. Yeah. So a couple weeks, like 3 weeks, I guess. I find that very interesting. So some of us could see a significant shift in prosperity by aligning those other three parts of the manifestation. That makes sense, right? I think it makes sense. I just can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it, but my God, what? And they say we lost the recipes. We ain't lose all the recipes, honey. This is the recipe. This is the recipe. All right. Last deck. Magic Spells Oracle. Okay, what do you have to say? And remember, the prosperity was the outcome of doing these things. Oh my God, crazy. So this Phoenix was sitting on top of the deck, and of course the Phoenix is associated with Scorpio, and of course we have our full moon in Scorpio this week. Because Scorpio at its core is about regeneration. Wow. Rebirth, hope, and renewal. Oh my God. I said last week that Taurus season was going to be a very pivotal season. And the thing about it is they're like, quiet all of the outside noise. Turn off the news. Take some time every day where you're not on social media. Remember, the card said, go outside in the sun, get your vitamin D. Because what this Taurus season, what this week specifically is giving us the opportunity to do is rebirth and renew ourselves. Now, the sun has gone way down, but I wonder... I don't have the book anyway, so I can't read from it. Okay, that's good, because I didn't really want to force myself to read in the dark. So that's it. That's all I got. I mean, I think that's pretty incroyable. Yeah, that's lit. That's all I got. I'm Zoe Flowers. If you made it this far, put a sun in the chat. And I will see you in a couple of days. Bye.